Welcome, guys. We have Nefer over here with Spiral Abyss, and we're going to talk about a couple of free-to-play friendly teams with Nefer in this video. Free-to-play, what I think personally is a team where you only have... Bro, shut up. Come on. 4-star characters in the team apart from the one particular 5-star character with only their standard weapon. I mean, something like that you can get really easily, you know? If there's a weapon like this on the banner, which is a weapon banner, these weapons are not free-to-play friendly weapons. You need to be able to get the weapon from either standard banner, or you should be able to just craft it from the crafting stations in the town. Yeah. So those are the weapons that are called free-to-play weapons, you know, standard banner weapons and craftable weapons. So free-to-play teams with characters who are not Constellation 6, I'll say, because like if somebody started playing the game like 10 days ago and they ended up pulling out their Nefer and they're looking forward to, you know what, let's just make a team with Nefer, I really like this character, then you're definitely not gonna have Diona with Constellation 6. But the reason why I have Diona over here is because she's such a good character who can provide you with some shield. Yeah, she can provide you with shield, and she can also heal your team, especially when you're playing with someone like Nefer. Now, is Nefer a free-to-play friendly DPS? Absolutely not. But that's also a good thing about her, because the only character that, as of right now, that I know, the only character that she needs is Llama as a 5-star character. It's a good thing because, let me tell you, I have done over 220 pulls to get this piece of work. Just her C0. And dude, it was a frustrating experience. Okay. It was a frustrating experience to get this character, just because I wanted to make a team that I could not make without that character. So it's a good thing, in my opinion, that at least this character is a 5-star. I can get her in 70 pulls with a guaranteed, if I have a guaranteed pity, or if I win the 50-50. At least I can get this character. Whereas if this character was particularly a 4-star character, where you have to get their Constellation 6 to get this 35% damage boost, bro, that would be impossible. So it's a good thing that she only needs one 5-star character to be good enough to tackle any Spiral Abyss that you would throw at her, to be hyper effective against all the enemies that will take damage from the Dender teams. And I do not recommend her. But regardless of the fact that I do not recommend her, I'm still going to show you a couple of teams that did felt pretty good to me. The biggest downside of this team is something that I'll show you once I start fighting. The way you start playing with Nefer is that after you do everything you need to do with all the characters that are in your party, you do her charge attacks with her. You just got to make sure that there's somebody that is applying Dendro, so that you have a lot of Dendro seeds so that you can do charge attacks to kill these enemies. But because we're using Dendro Traveler, one of the biggest downside that he has is if the enemy hits his flower, this particular flower, with pyro damage, this thing will explode, and now we gotta restart this. Okay, no. Gotta restart. Now there's an efficient way of doing her skill. You just do a little bit of charge attack and then you do a dodge, right? And I messed it up, never mind. Feel free to do her burst, because when you don't have the most efficient teammates with you, there's nothing wrong with you doing her burst to get that extra bit of damage that you can. Learn to dash cancel with her. We'll talk about this once we have done this. Once you do his burst, make sure you apply Hydra as quickly as you can before, you know what, you got it. This sucks. Yeah. You don't make free-to-play friendly teams with Nefer, okay? It's not simple. It's not simple to make free-to-play friendly teams with Nefer, and this is not all of it. This is just beginning. She's terrible as free-to-play character. I gotta freeze this guy real quick. Hopefully I freeze him. And my character is about to die. Again, I'm out of Diona's circle. I cannot control it. It requires a lot of skill and a lot of time behind it to be able to perfectly place all 3 circles as close to each other, so that no, wait, guy, I'm talking. So that someone who is an enemy like him, he can perfectly get inside 3 different circles at the same time. So it's not simple to play with Nefer as free-to-play teams, because like it just sucks. She has a lot of damage though. I know I'm only talking about the bad things about Nefer teams, but these things are the fact. I do not know if you guys know this, but if you do not have a single character, another character from Nodcry to activate this very particular buff, you know, this buff. And it's a really good buff. We'll talk about this soon. It's a really good buff. Unless you have minimum of 2 characters from Nodcry, she won't be able to do her special charge attacks that does a lot of damage. So yeah, it really comes down to you really need one more character with Nefer who's from Nodcry. That being said, as much as I want to bad talk her, let me show you how good she gets.
Follow me.
If you just follow her.
The soft light of the moon.
Oh no, we're not going to go into the soft light of the moon. Let me show you how good this team gets.
May knowledge guide you.
Yes, and we only need cryo application and hydro application for this team to be absolutely busted. And I'll show you the damage done by just these two characters, okay? I at least love this new addition of where I can just select my teams, you know, from over here. It is just amazing. Because like if you have so many characters built to level 85, yeah, you kind of lose half of your character where they are because they all look the same, you know? You may be thinking, why am I using her? Yeah, I just want to freeze the enemies, you know, so that I can do damage too. I missed it. This sucks, but never mind. We're good. Yeah, we're good. We just need to apply some hydro, dude. You got to do her burst. It is a bit important, yeah? Dude, we just finished it, right? What the fuck? That was like 1 minute and 20 seconds. Can you see like how much damage she does? It's just kind of ridiculous. Okay, I got... No, wait. I'm just... That was 1 minute and 20 seconds on one side of the abyss with just two characters. And all Xingqiu did was apply hydro with these swords. Okay? That's all you need for her team. And by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but I am just using 2-piece elemental mastery and 2-piece elemental mastery. I do not have any decent artifacts on her. I mean, just look at this. These are the most average artifacts you will have in this game. Okay, maybe not this one. These are the most average artifacts that you will have in this game. And that was the amount of damage. And yeah, by the way, my talent's at level 8. If you're playing with this character, just the skill is something that you need to pay attention to, and a little bit of burst. It's damage, so yeah, sure, why not? Until we get top of the line teams. The reason why Laoma is so good with this character is because, first of all, the elemental mastery of Laoma does help her do more damage. 22% elemental red shred. This is another damage increase. This is another 10% crit rate and 20% crit damage. And on top of that, I mean, of course, we cannot forget the deep wood memories yet. This does help just a little bit, but it helps. This one character is doing the job of a lot of characters for her, but we do need sustain, somebody who can keep your character alive, and we do need to apply water to the enemy. You can use Barbara if you're brand new to the game, but I would not recommend it. Xingqiu's rain sword is kind of perfectly fine until it breaks. I do not like Aina, or a character who forces me to stay inside of a circle to do damage. It's perfectly fine to use a character like Aina if you're doing an overworld fight, okay? If the bosses that you fight are standing at just one place, you know, like this one, and all the other ones. You know, if they just stand at a place, then it's perfectly fine to use teams like I Know and, you know, play Circle Impact. But if you're fighting against the enemies in Spiral Abyss who moves at a speed of light and who just runs away from you as soon as they see you, Circle Impact is just never going to be effective in those type of situation. But yeah, I think it's time for me to teach you how to play with this character properly. The reason why I'm using cryo characters are because they can work with hydro and freeze the enemy at a place, and makes my life much easier to play this game, because I do not play this game on 16 ms of ping. It's 165. I don't know if you can see this. There's an extra number over there for some reason. And I'm lucky to be able to play at this ping, honestly. Basically, what you do is you press her E skill, and then you do a charge attack like this. But as you can see, it's rather slow when it comes to doing damage. And she has a very short damage. I wouldn't say she has a short damage window, but if you can do her rotations much quickly, that means you can do more damage, right? What I'm gonna do is, as soon as I press her charge attack, yeah, I'm gonna press shift or like dodge, you know? Can you see how quick this is? Yeah. And if I try to do this thing as quickly as I can, here's how fast this goes. I'm pretty sure there are people out there who can do it much faster than this, but this is just a glimpse of how quickly she can dish out so much damage. And this is like one of the worst example of this character. I don't even have her talents leveled up. I don't know if you guys know about this, but you see this artifact set? Yeah, this thing gives your character 30% crit rate and 10% damage increase. And if you're pairing her up with Laoma, we'll give her 40% crit rate. You know, 40% crit rate. just like that. And all you need on her is from the artifacts to get 60% crit rate, to give her 100% crit rate. And then you just equip an artifact, something like this, and then you'll do shit ton of damage. Yeah, by the way, did I mention that she can do crit damage on her hyper blooms or whichever blooms that she does, lunar blooms? Yeah, she's a crit skill Dendro DPS. And in fact, she's my first Dendro DPS. Now, you may be thinking if you're somebody who should be getting this character, if you already have this guy, I don't see a point of you getting Nefer, unless like you truly like her. The biggest downside of Nefer is she's not the best character. If you have a lot of enemies in front of you, she kind of sucks against those. As of right now, she's a very single target focused DPS, as far as I can see. You may be thinking which weapons to use on her as a free to play. So you can equip this weapon on her if you have. You can use this craftable weapon. But if you are unable to get both of these weapons, then what I could tell you to get is something like this. This passive stats does not affect her damage like I tested it. It did not work out so well. But this elemental mastery is pretty good. 187 elemental mastery. It can make her do pretty decent amount of damage. Feel free to use this weapon. Also, if you have sacrificial fragment, feel free to use this weapon. It's not the best. It's slightly worse than this one, but feel free to use this weapon. Just one copy is going to be enough. Now, Xingqiu ends up being my favorite character for the Hydra application. If you have someone like Diona, I will prefer Diona even if she's like Constellation 1, 2, 3, 4. You at least need her C1 for her burst to get a decent amount of energy, because she kind of sucks. When it comes to burst, it does have a lot of energy and it has a very long cooldown and it has a very low duration compared to her cooldown. And she's not generally the most ideal character, but in free-to-play teams, we do not have the privilege. There are a lot of people like you guys who exist outside who does not have the privilege to watch this video unless you like this and give it a little bit more traction on YouTube. When we're talking about characters who can heal us, in 4-star we do not have a shit ton of it. We only got either Diona and Yao Yao who can be fit into this team. It may not look like it, but hey, Yao Yao is a healer.
Don't fear, Yao Yao's here.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. You may be thinking of using Yao Yao as a healer in your Dendro team, but she sucks, unfortunately. She needs HP for most of the part. Yeah, she needs HP over here. I have her talent to the maximum, the one thing that heals most of the time. So this is like another free-to-play friendly team. I'm pretty sure you can see this. As soon as Laoma has gone from the party, we lost most of our damage right now. Instead of taking these enemies out in just one rotation, it's taking a rather long time, which I know. Oh, no. Oh yeah, that sucks. That is rough. Although he has the best Dendro application in all the 4-star characters, but it is really not the best. All right, all the rotations are going perfectly. We lost the healing ability. And you see, like when the debuff happens, your characters take way too much damage. Oh, how did he hit me over there? Come on, dude. You're cheating. You lost most of your damage. A pretty decent ability to fight back. And then you gotta jump with Yao Yao like this, you know, to heal your characters. But then your enemy can still move out of the Hydro range, and which really just sucks. So you have to be so careful of how you set up this type of team, which is truly a circle impact. And then he just debuffed me again. Come on, dude. It's really not helpful to play with her for your sanity and for your health if you do not have Laoma. Like,
Even when darkness falls, the faithful shall not stray from the righteous path.
and you have to do pulls for her, by the way. I don't know if you know that. So yeah, if you do not want to get Laoma, I would not prefer Nefer. Like, yeah, you will not see me tell you to get this character, you know? Absolutely not. You do need Laoma. There are lots of people who are going to be out there who will be thinking, what should they do? So if you like this video, there's a good chance this video can reach them. And, you know, they will see this video and not waste their primo gems on getting this character, because there are lots of videos out there of highly skilled players, okay? Highly skilled players with almost whale levels of artifact that you will be unable to get, who can show you that she's perfectly fine without Laoma. I'm here to tell you guys, no. Hopefully I can make another video like this with 5-star characters who are not going to be free-to-play friendly team, at least in my opinion. If there's a whole team of 5-star characters, it's not a free-to-play team anymore, because it'll take somebody almost a year to get that many characters if you don't have them, if their banner is not right in front of you. almost a year, or even longer than that, if those characters are particular characters, because you have to wait for reruns for years. So yeah, that's the case. So yeah, if you think you can get Nefer with Llama, then there's many team options which are just fantastic. You will really enjoy playing with this character, and she has shit ton of damage. Even without trying, she can do shit ton of damage. She's fantastic as a character, but yeah, you do need Llama. I am so glad that my ping did not reach 500 when I was recording the video. I am so glad. It was a lot of fun making this video though.